Hey y'all, it's Day. So I'm gonna be doing a reading for us today. Very much looking forward to this reading. I'm gonna be going a little bit more slow paced than I usually do. I'm really low energy today, but for some reason I feel like doing a reading will help me balance my energies. I haven't done a reading in what I consider a while, so I just want to get back to that because it's so much fun and so insightful, and I miss posting. If you don't already know, if you're not already following me on the gram, which is day_royale, and that's day DAE. I have just opened, I'm having my grand opening for my Etsy shop where I will be having mojo bags, fixed candles, and readings available on there. Or you could just visit my website. Link will be in the comment section below to check out my readings and my offerings as a whole. But again, my Etsy shop just opened yesterday, so definitely check it out. If you like to set intentions with me, I already have some candles that I have already fixed, and you also have the option to customize your own candle, which would be in collaboration with me. For all of the packages, you do have a free consultation. So if you're interested in getting a free consultation with me, specifically for if you are interested in getting one of the ceremonial candles, definitely check out the link, which will be in the comment section below. Very excited, very happy about this venture. Today I'm going to be using the Fortuna Tarot deck, a deck that I love, and I'm going to go ahead and get started, you guys. So angel, guides, ancestors, God, God's source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love, thank you for the guidance, thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, it's like my spread is looking a little bit different today. Thank you. Is there anything we need to know about this message? We need to know. Very interesting the way the spread's coming out today. Hearing the word encouragement, and then I was also hearing the word thank you. Very interesting. Yeah, so I'm definitely getting this celebratory mood. So under the deck, under current energy, is the King of Swords. Love that for you. For whoever this message is, spiritual team is coming through very clearly to say that they're viewing whoever this message is for as equipped. You're very welcomed to continue to communicate your needs, your desires, and I'm also hearing the word reform. If there is something that is needing to be reformed, and I'm hearing the word injustice as well. If there is something that someone feels called to speak up about, call out, take a stand on, I'm hearing spiritual team is coming through very clearly to say that they're standing behind this person that is doing so. And there's this energy of, and I'm hearing the word God, there's this energy of someone appearing bigger than they actually are in the physical, but they're being viewed as bigger, or their energy is bigger. And the reason why is because if this was you, it's like there's something standing behind you And however others are perceiving it, they are perceiving it. So there's something about, I'm getting this block energy, but not block as in you're being blocked. It's like if you had 5 other people who are also armored or has armor standing behind you or covering you. I was getting this imagery of, you know how knights have the armor and then they have the shield and they have their swords, and if there's a group of them, how they'll together put their shields up to create protection for all of them. It's that type of energy, but with your spiritual team, for whoever this message is for. And I'm hearing the word anchoring. So for whoever this message is for, in regards to something that they feel like they need to speak up regarding a matter, they're protected, but more so supported. They're not alone. And something about that energy being perceived or felt by others in doing so. So top of the deck, undercurrent energy, we have the Princess of Elixirs. Very interesting. So this is the Page of Cups. Wow. I'm hearing the word commercial vehicle. Something about this calling, something about this thing that someone is being led to speak up about or take a stand on is close to their heart. They may be questioning themselves or their authority, I'm hearing, regarding doing something. So there's this energy, there may be this back and forth of, this is important to me, but who am I to say this or to do that? And this energy of, am I enough? Do I have the authority, most importantly? But with the Page of Cups coming out, spiritual team is saying that your compassion, how you feel about something that you're wanting to take a stand on, is what makes it so powerful, and to allow this heart space to grow, to expand. Very interesting. So towards the left of the spread, we have the 8 of Wands, and I'm hearing the words commercial vehicle. For me as a reader, that means someone is being presented with the opportunity very soon to move from one stage of their life to the next, or to embody a new persona, a new position, a new sense of identity or leadership, capability, acknowledgement, a new capability. They're able to move from one stage of their life to the next. So if we were playing a video game, this is like unlocking a new outfit or unlocking new tools or new weapons. And I'm hearing the word arsenal. So yes, and these tools, this weapon is spiritual, and it's in the knowing. And I'm hearing the word spirit, and there is this energy of someone, once they follow through with this, not realizing, or after they follow through with it, realizing how powerful they really are. With this 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands can represent movement, communication. So I think that's very powerful that this message is coming through with the 8 of Wands, and spiritual team is coming through to acknowledge that they're going to be putting some wind beneath selves. They're going to be supporting you. It's definitely giving me this energy of someone speaking and their voice carrying further than they realized that it would. It's very powerful. Love that for you. And the Eight of Wands is ruled by Mercury and Sagittarius. Equivalent. Yes. So directly underneath this Eight of Wands, we have the Emperor. Spiritual team is coming through to say that for whoever this message is, step up, step into it. Someone may be feeling again like something about standing up or taking on this leadership role or taking the lead in general or initiating something related to a cause or something that needs to be said. It kind of feels like when you put on an outfit and you might feel like you need to grow into it a little bit more, or the outfit feels a little bit bigger for you. But that is not the case. Spiritual team is saying that you are worthy of this outfit. And now I'm getting this energy of, you guys may have already heard of how, I think they said it was a shark, or it may just be a fish in general. When you put a fish in a certain size tank, the fish unconsciously knows to only grow to a certain amount. But if you were to put it in a bigger tank or a bigger body of water, it would grow. So there is this energy of spiritual team is asking whoever this message is for to trust that even though this outfit, this suit, this armor may look or feel too big for you now, like you have big shoes to fill, as soon as you step into the arena, as soon as you step into the armor, your essence will fill everything else in, and that will materialize, and also any physicality will expand as well. So that's quite powerful. On top of this Emperor card, which came out upright, ruled by Aries, we have the Nine of Cups, and I'm hearing the word unworthiness. So that may be something that someone is battling, has been battling, or is battling in regards to this situation. But keep in mind the Nine of Cups did come out, and the Nine of Cups is ruled by Jupiter and Pisces. So Jupiter is known for expansion, abundance, blessings. Pisces is known for being elusive, being expansive. There's no need for a compass. Sometimes you can even feel lost, thinking of how wide and how vast the ocean is, how wide and how vast space is. Sometimes you can feel a little disoriented within it. But if you can remain calm, if you can remain steadfast, if you have practices that help you maintain your ability to be grounded mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you could recognize that working with this type of energy also has its benefits, which is imagination, expansive thinking, higher understanding. There is it could be illusionary, but you could also mold and whip illusions as well. So kind of going back to this energy of this armor, this outfit, this suit, this role, this position, this new identity that whoever this message for a spiritual team is asking them to step into. The idea that it could feel too big for you, but that spiritual team is coming through very clearly to say that once you step into it, you will fill out the outfit, the suit, the armor, the identity, the position. And I'm hearing the word qualified. Use your imagination to your benefit. That is kind of the opposite of allowing self-doubt to take over. So 9 of Cups came out in reverse. On top of that, we have the Princess of Coins, or the Page of Coins, coming out in reverse as well. And I'm hearing the word monumental. This definitely does feel like a challenge, a mental challenge. It feels like I'm hearing reap rewards. So if you're able to overcome this self-doubt and follow through with it, something about following through is going to bring about material success, material abundance. Something of this challenge or lesson or journey is going to leave you with something tangible that you can work with. So it's that energy of, you once had this project where you had to write a paper, and somewhere down the line in your life you said, I'll never need this, and then you find yourself in a conversation with someone that you really want to connect with, and they just so happen to really care about this one thing that you wrote a paper about 6 years ago. It's something that you did in the past, that being whatever this thing is that's coming up. That spiritual team is saying you have an opportunity to move from one stage of your life to the next. It's going to leave you with something tangible that you could work with later. And so the Page of Coins is coming out in reverse, because we may not look at it like that right now or see it that way right now. So we're definitely collecting coins. On the right of these cards that came out, we have the 2 of Swords coming out in reverse, ruled by Libra in the moon. And directly underneath that, we have the 10 of Wands. Very interesting. So there is this duty, and I'm hearing the words heartfelt. There is this calling that whoever this message is for has, and it's going back to the initial message that was coming up. There is something about a cause, and I keep getting reminded of, it might have something to do with dogs, or it might have something to do with animals, rescues, or something like that, where you see a problem and it needs to be addressed. Perhaps you need to go to the city council and speak about this, or make this known to someone. There's something that someone is feeling passionate about, that they care about, that they see something happening over and over again, and they hate to see it, but they also are wondering, why don't other people see this, or why isn't someone else doing something about this? And you guys may have seen this quote before. It was something about, people often say someone should do something about this, not realizing that they are someone. And I think there's a name for something where something happens and everybody assumes that someone else is going to do something about it, and what ends up happening is nobody did anything about it. So definitely, you are someone is the energy here and the message that's coming through. But there is a balance between a calling with the 10 of Wands, a sacred calling, a duty. It's weighing on this person's heart and on their physical body. It's something that they can't shake. We try to forget about something, or we try to minimize something, but our mind keeps going back to this problem. That is spiritual team communication. So try to be mindful and acknowledge when you are experiencing those things, and just doing that will help you in the future. Just know that when you're being communicated with in general about things, that areas, directions that you need to go. Okay, so directly underneath that we have the Eight of Swords coming out in reverse, ruled by Jupiter and Gemini. Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. Very interesting. I'm hearing blockages, and this does feel like a mental blockage. Someone is looking at the 3D, focusing on the 3D and the circumstance, their physical circumstances too much. They're focusing on that too much. They're counting how many people are on the other team, how many people are on the other side. They're measuring other people's opposing parties positions and strength, and that's not beneficial to them. The spiritual team is coming through very clearly to say not to get caught up in the numbers and what you can physically see as far as any opposition that you feel like you may face in pursuing or following through on what you're being called to do. And it's going back to what was coming up earlier in the message, where spiritual team is supporting whoever this message is for. So something about their energy will be perceived as stronger, louder, than they may feel like they are. So remember, your spiritual team is backing you, supporting you. On top of that, we have the Page of Wands coming out upright, definitely. So with the Page of Wands coming out on top of this Eight of Swords, is definitely giving me this energy of this little light of mine, and it's bringing me back to the top of the deck undercurrent energy that came out in the beginning of the reading. Your spiritual team is saying this is how they see you. They feel that you're equipped as a King of Swords, and the Page of Cups came out. They were saying that something about you following through is tied to your heart, your compassion. So again, this cause, whatever that you're feeling called to stand up about, is close to your heart, and the strength is coming from your compassion that you have regarding this. And so with this little light of mine coming out, it's an opportunity to exercise your faith for whoever this message is for, that regardless of the numbers, even though it is scary, to trust that it's enough to exercise, to allow your voice to be heard, and spiritual team will amplify it. So we have the Five of Cups Yeah, again, whoever this message is for is focusing on the glass being half empty rather than half full. So spiritual team is just coming to acknowledge that, and they know exactly why you feel that way, so they do understand. But again, this is an opportunity to exercise your faith. With the Hermit card coming out in reverse, there is an aspect of whoever this message is for that has been dormant and is dying. So there's this energy of, for example, someone that has been working a 9 to 5 and they just feel like they're dying inside. They hate going to work every day. They're looking for other jobs. Every day that they wake up, they're questioning, how much do I need this job? But they're afraid to take the leap. With the Hermit coming out in reverse, there's this energy of, I don't know what I'm gonna do, I just know I can't stay here. And spiritual team is saying that as scary as it is, as much as you're worried about being crucified or an ego death, you have to admit or acknowledge that you would feel just a little bit more alive following through with this. And yes, there is a death. There is an ego death. There is a emotional death. Some type of exposure, vulnerability, and following through with this task. But it's way better than only thinking these thoughts in your head. So it's giving me this energy of people in a corporate job. All the co-workers will talk and vent about how things are and how unfair things are and how things are being done wrong at their jobs. But as long as it just stays in the break room, that gets old eventually. And if you're just talking about it every day on your lunch break, just to go back to that ball and chain. So spiritual team is asking us to put our money where our mouth is, to follow through and to trust, with the Hermit card coming out in reverse. And the Hermit represents someone that is willing to go the journey alone, even if no one else follows. They just know that there's more somewhere else. So whoever this message is for, they're being called to take this journey. They just haven't decided to leave, what time they're gonna leave, tonight, tomorrow. When are they gonna go ahead and go on the journey? So we also have, I'm hearing fortify. We also have the Four of Swords, ruled by Jupiter and Libra, coming out upright. So this is, what's it called? Someone being solid in their thinking. Spiritual team is coming through to say you're right. So sometimes we can go back and forth about letting somebody know, hey, that hurts. Hey, you're stepping on my foot. Sometimes we can find ourselves being gaslit, even if corporations don't gaslight us through conversation. Sometimes they know that their workers are tired. They know that they're overworking them, or there's not enough paper towels in the restroom. They know they've been getting complaints. People are submitting the complaints and they're just going to an email that nobody's checking. They know. But sometimes because they don't take action on it, we can if something that is important to us doesn't get acknowledged, sometimes we can try to convince ourselves it's not that big of a deal or it's not important. But spiritual team is coming through very clearly to say that for whoever this message is for, you're in your right mind. There's something wrong. Something does need to be done. There does need to be a change, and to be anchored in this knowing. Okay, so on the right of this 10 of Wands that came out earlier, where spiritual team is saying that there is a calling that keeps nagging you, even though you've kind of tried to brush it away or find ways to settle, that it still revisits you, and that is your spiritual team letting you know that there's a calling, there's a duty, there's a responsibility that they're wanting you to act on, and that is going to make you feel more alive by going forward and following through on this task. On the right of that, we have the Knight of Swords coming out upright. For whoever this message is for, you are the messenger. And then I'm also hearing the bringer of water. So the Aquarius, the water barrier, but you're the water barrier in regards to communication and messaging. And that makes sense because the Page of Cups came out earlier, where spiritual team is saying that this is close to home, this is close to your heart, you're compassionate regarding this matter, this topic, whatever this is. So, Knight of Swords coming out upright, you have a message to bring. On top of that, we have the Two of Coins coming out upright. You have your facts together. You have the ability to organize those facts and to put it into a document. You know enough about this. You've seen, you have witnesses. You are a witness. You have accounts. You have all the information needed and necessary to follow through on this. And something about this translates into the material, where it feels like someone can prove something is a liability. Someone can prove that people are being hurt by this, or animals are being harmed by this, or there's this energy of, you know how something is wrong in a process or in a system, and it just gets dumped and there's no receiver, so things are just constantly being dumped in this one area, and it just goes to lost and found, but it causes problems, and there's a whole group or community of people that have experienced this, and there's no solution to it. It's just like that. You're there to help clean up this mess. I seen this meme of, it says something about when you Google a problem and you read the comments and someone had this same problem 6-7 years ago, and the depiction was them as a skeleton, like, dang, whatever happened to that person? This person was having this same exact problem that I'm having right now. That is literally the energy of this reading. And spiritual team is coming through very clearly to say that you're not the first one to see this, to acknowledge this, and it's going back to the example that was coming up earlier in the reading, where there's a lot of people around and everyone assumes that somebody's going to do something about this, and then nothing gets done, nobody ever calls, and the whole somebody should do something about this, and the message being you are someone. So I'm really just feeling really sad because it feels like this is an issue that has been going on for a long time. You're not the first one to see it, to witness it, or to experience it. And it needs to stop. And spiritual team is coming through to a point. I'm hearing whoever this message is for, like you are the one. On top of this 2 of coins, we have Fortuna. So the Wheel of Fortune coming out upright. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The Wheel of Fortune. It's like cycles. This happening to many people. It's also this energy. Have you ever seen this video where they create traps for mouses or traps for rats, where they climb through this obstacle and then they just fall into a bucket, and then another one goes in and just falls into this bucket? That's that energy, and it's so sad because it's this energy of maybe like a whirlpool that nobody went to the news about. People come to this location and they see this whirlpool, but nobody ever reports it. And maybe this whirlpool is in a body of water that's really big, and people go to visit this whirlpool, but they go to visit this body of water, but they don't know about the whirlpool because nobody reported it, and tragic things happen over and over again. I also am being reminded of this article I seen some years ago about some body of water, I think in Texas. I don't remember if it was a lake, a pond, or ocean, but something about the water was contaminated, and somebody took their dog to the park to go swim in it, and the dog just immediately got sick and died. And they figured out that there was something in the water. But how many people brought their pets just thinking, oh, let me let my dog go for a swim, and didn't know what happened, if it was a water moccasin or what, but nobody reported it. So that's the message, that you need to be the one to report this. Wow. So, cycles with the Wheel of Fortune coming out. And like I said, that came out with 2 of coins where spiritual team is saying, you got the facts, you got the pictures, you got the evidence, you got the words, you got the ability to make the document, you have the means. Directly underneath that, we have the 6 of Swords coming out in reverse. The 6 of Swords. Oh, no, this is coming up upright. The 6 of Swords coming out upright. Six of Swords. Yeah. Because I was wondering why I feel stuck with the 6 of Swords, because the 6 of Swords usually is representing someone moving on, but feeling burdened emotionally or mentally. So it's kind of like leaving a relationship, but still having some unprocessed feelings or emotions regarding the relationship or the breakup. With the 6 of Swords coming out upright, it's speaking to a message that was coming up earlier that was saying, you tried to put this down, you tried to erase it from your mind, you tried to move on to something else or to focus on something else, but it keeps coming back. So there's this energy of having something caught on your line. If you ever went fishing before, sometimes depending on the type of body of water or where you're fishing, you can get sea moss stuck on your line, or you can get caught on a rock or some kind of vine under the water. It's like you can't just pick up and go. You can't just, something needs to be taken care of. Something needs to be handled. Something needs to be managed, spoken about, taken care of. So there's this weighted feeling. On top of that, we have the Seven of Cups coming out in reverse. Very interesting energy. Seven of Cups is ruled by Venus and Scorpio. So there's this love-hate type of feeling going on. And I'm hearing the word duty. I'm also getting someone being choosy, like I can do this, but I can't do that. I'm hearing the word regret. And then I'm hearing the word channels. So it's giving me this energy of maybe reaching out to more than one news station about this issue, trying to make this well known. Taking advantage of resources or reaching out to different resources. On the right of this Wheel of Fortune, we have the Queen of Cups coming out in reverse. On top of that, we have the Lover's card. And this is bringing to my attention this energy of how we're all connected, but how quickly, how often we forget. Sometimes we don't care about things unless it's happened to us personally or someone that we know or that we actually care about, like a family member, friend, or someone. And spiritual team is reminding us that we are them, they are us. On the right of that, we have the Nine of Swords, ruled by Mars and Gemini. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, okay, yeah. So with the Nine of Swords coming out in reverse, it's another indication of heaviness, things weighing on your thoughts for whoever this message is for. And that's your spiritual team, that is your conscience. And I'm hearing weighted, as in heavy. We have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Six of Wands. Wow. Eight of Cups is ruled by Saturn and Pisces. Very interesting. I am getting this energy of there is an inclination to cower from spiritual team's perspective, where we are being presented the choice to just walk away from the issue and say someone else will do it, or we can be the leader, show up for ourselves, and feel more alive in doing so. To feel like we're really a real active player in our lives and the lives of others, to get acquainted with our leadership ability. Love that for you. I would like to close this reading. I started this reading with flow energy and I'm like, ooh, okay. A lot of things. So, under the deck, undercurrent energy is the Seeker. So the Fool card. Spiritual team is asking whoever this message is to step out on a limb, to do something different, to take on a new persona, a new role in order to follow through on this calling. Top of the deck, undercurrent energy is the Three of Wands coming out in reverse, ruled by Aries and the Sun. This is personal identity. This is greater, wider horizons. Think bigger. Understand how to use your imagination. Directly on top of this, Six of Swords and Seven of Cups, where spiritual team is saying, I could do this, but I can't do that. How whoever this message is for is going back and forth with themselves. On top of that, we have the Justice card coming out. So there is this justice. And then I'm also being called to talk about something about karma, something about how families will, it's just this energy of, you guys may have seen this video of this guy. He was trying to warn this driver that there was this big hole in the road coming up, but the driver flicked him off and completely disregarded him because he was black, and ended up going full speed into this big ass hole in the ground. I think they were doing some kind of construction work and they didn't have signs out, but more so like the trap I was talking about that they built from mice, rats, where there's just families, generations of families falling into this circumstance, this whirlpool, because things aren't being reported. So justice is coming out. You can save generations of people. It's just, and I'm being brought to this karmic experience of someone losing their dog over something that could have been prevented. Someone's child getting sick over something that could have been aborted because someone didn't want to say something or do something about something. So yeah, the King of Swords. I thought the King of Swords came out earlier. Oh yeah, that was I had shuffled again. And it was the under the deck current energy. So King of Swords coming out again. This time on top of the Eight of Cups. Where spiritual team said there's a chance that someone may be inclined to walk away from the calling. We have the Three of Cups. You will be met with help, support. Strength is required. This much spiritual team is coming through to acknowledge. They understand that it's not easy. They understand that it's difficult, that there is, I'm hearing paralysis, paralyzed. Something is crippling mentally about taking action. They understand that, so they understand that Strength is going to be required for you, and they're asking whoever this message is to use their spiritual muscle, to exercise their spiritual and mental muscle regarding this matter. Alchemy, to face your fears, to alchemize the fears, to move forward, to face it, and to know that you will be protected, you will be backed up by your spiritual team, that you won't be alone, that you have a solid foundation to work with and will continue to be built upon. And another reference to the Six of Wands, that you will come out on the other side as the leader that you have yet to be acquainted with. Love that for you guys. If you're looking for your own personal reading, check out the link in the comments section. Again, check out my Etsy shop if you're looking for fixed candles, or if you'd like to set intentions with me, or me to set intentions with you for whatever you're wanting to manifest. And if you were interested in getting one of the ceremonial fixed candles, I'm doing free consultations for those if you're interested. So definitely take advantage. And that's pretty much it, you guys. Bye.